Before he died, a samurai sat alone in a cave and wrote 21 rules for life. No editor, no audience, no expectation that anyone would ever read them. Just a man who had spent his entire life mastering the sword, putting down the final things he believed to be true. His name was Miyamoto Musashi. He was arguably the greatest swordsman who ever lived. He fought over 60 duels and never lost a single one. He killed his first opponent at the age of 13. And when it was all over, when there was no one left to fight, he didn't write about technique. He didn't write about winning. He wrote about how to live. He called it the Dokkodo, the way of walking alone. 21 precepts written days before his death in 1645, and nearly 400 years later, they still cut deeper than most self-help books ever will. Rule 1. Accept everything just the way it is. Not the way you wish it was, not the way it should be, the way it is, right now, this moment. Stop arguing with reality. You will lose every time. The world does not owe you a version of itself that's easier to swallow. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop wasting energy on things you cannot change. Rule 2. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. Musashi watched men destroy themselves chasing comfort, drink, women, easy victories. He understood that pleasure without purpose is a leash disguised as freedom. It feels like you're choosing, but you're being pulled. Rule 3. Do not, under any circumstances, depend on a partial feeling. Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. You know this. You've lived this. Every time you sent that message at 2 a.m., every time you quit something in a moment of frustration, Musashi is telling you to wait. Let the feeling pass, then decide. Rule 4. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. Stop taking yourself so seriously. Your ego is not your friend. It convinces you that everything is personal, that every failure is a verdict on who you are. Musashi says shrink yourself. Expand your awareness of everything else. The lighter you hold your own identity, the harder it is for the world to shake you. Rule 5. Be detached from desire your whole life long. Not the absence of ambition, the absence of desperation. Want things, work for things, but do not let the wanting own you. The moment your happiness depends on getting something, you have already lost your freedom. Rule 6. Do not regret what you have done. You made every decision with the information you had at the time. Looking backward, with what you know now, and punishing yourself for not knowing it, then is not wisdom. It is self-destruction dressed up as reflection. Make the decision. Accept the outcome. Move. Rule 7. Never be jealous. Jealousy is you admitting that someone else's life controls how you feel about your own. Musashi fought 60 duels. He could have compared himself to other swordsmen. Instead, he compared himself to who he was yesterday. That's the only competition that matters. Rule 8. Never let yourself be saddened by a separation. People leave. They always have. They always will. Musashi is not telling you not to love. He is telling you not to collapse when love walks away. You existed before them. You will exist after. The grief is real, but it does not get to define you. Rule 9. Resentment and complaint are appropriate neither for oneself nor others. Every minute you spend complaining is a minute you could have spent solving. Every ounce of resentment you carry is weight that slows you down, while the person you resent feels nothing. Complaining is a confession that you've given up on changing the situation. Rule 10. Do not let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love. This doesn't mean kill your emotions. It means don't let them drive. Feel them, acknowledge them, but never hand the steering wheel to a feeling that changes with the weather. You are not your emotions. You are the one who chooses what to do with them. Rule 11. In all things have no preferences. The more preferences you stack up, the more ways reality can disappoint you. Musashi trained himself to eat what was available, sleep where he could, fight with whatever weapon was at hand. Flexibility is not weakness. It is the ultimate form of readiness. Rule 12. Be indifferent to where you live. Your environment does not determine your discipline. If you need the perfect setup to do the work, you will never do the work. Musashi lived in caves, temples, forests, and battlefields. The location never changed the man. Rule 13. Do not pursue the taste of good food. This is not about starving yourself. It is about noticing how much of your daily life is organized around chasing small comforts. When comfort becomes the priority, growth becomes impossible. Eat to live. Don't live to eat. Rule 14. Do not hold on to possessions you no longer need. Everything you own that you don't use owns a piece of your attention. Clutter in your space is clutter in your mind. Let it go. Travel light. A samurai carries only what he can use. Rule 15. Do not act following customary beliefs. Think for yourself. The crowd is almost always wrong about the things that matter most. Just because everyone does something doesn't mean it's right. Just because something has always been done a certain way doesn't mean it should continue. Musashi broke every convention of his time and won 60 duels doing it. Rule 16. Do not collect weapons or practice with weapons beyond what is useful. In modern terms, stop accumulating tools, courses, books, and plans that you never use. Knowledge without application is just entertainment. One technique mastered beats 100 techniques memorized. Rule 17. Do not fear death. Not because death doesn't matter, because fearing it changes nothing except the quality of the life you're living right now. Musashi walked into every duel knowing he might not walk out. That acceptance didn't make him reckless. It made him free. Rule 18. Do not seek to possess either goods or fiefs for your old age. Stop hoarding for a future that isn't promised. Security is an illusion. The man who spends his whole life preparing for tomorrow never lives today. Rule 19. Respect Buddha and the gods without counting on their help. Believe in something greater if you choose, but never use belief as an excuse to stop working. Pray if it gives you peace, but when you're done praying, get up and do the work yourself. No one is coming to save you. Rule 20. You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor. Your body will fail. Your strength will fade. Your looks will go. But your integrity, the way you carried yourself when it was hard, the promises you kept when no one was watching, that is the only thing that survives you. Protect it above everything. Rule 21. Never stray from the way. Find your path, then walk it. Not when it's convenient, not when it feels good. Every single day, especially the days when everything in you wants to quit. The way is not a destination, it is a practice, and the practice never ends. Musashi wrote these words in a cave, alone, dying. He had no students beside him, no family, no legacy he was trying to protect. He simply wrote what he believed to be true, and then he let go of the brush. 21 rules. No explanations, no stories, no justifications. Just the raw, compressed truth of a man who spent 60 years testing himself against the world and distilled everything he learned into a single page. You don't have to follow all of them. You don't have to agree with all of them. But if even one of these lines made something shift inside your chest, sit with that. Don't scroll past it. The way of walking alone was never meant to make your life easier. It was meant to make you honest about the life you're living. This is Philokemi. We will see you in the next one.